And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, January the 12th, 2020, 11th, 2020. I don't know where 12 is in there, but January the 11th, 2020. Coming to you from the future. Scott. Welcome to the show. It is season 14, episode 2. And I'm Scott.
I'm RJ.
And I'm Matt.
Yes, that voice you hear is Matt.
Good seeing you, man.
Howdy, y'all.
When last we left Matt, I don't actually remember.
Yeah, me neither.
It's been like, what, a month and a half, maybe?
Something like that.
I don't know what to tell you. The last thing that Matt was doing is probably playing Arma or not Siege. What else does he play? Not Ghost Recon. You haven't done that in a while.
Division?
No.
I don't have a Division.
Jedi Knight?
I did beat
Well,
that
there's that. Yeah, there's the whole Jedi
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's when last we left Matt. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can. Our phone number is 334-272-9228. 272-9228. 334 is the area code, by the way. 1 is the country code, for those of you that call out of town. We had a good number of callers last week.
Yes, you did.
Would love to keep that rolling. That'd be great. More callers, more fun to talk about video games, of course. Check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. So far, that's been okay. This year has been good so far.
What? Oh, 2 months of it?
2 months. It's only been a week.
Wait, it's January, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
never mind.
Yeah, it's only been a week.
That's how messed up my time is.
Yeah, if you want to, you can go to ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us on Twitter at ingamechat. You can find us on Facebook at ingamechat. The best place to do is just go to ingamechat.net and click on all the links there, and that is how you can find us everywhere that we may be, Facebook, Twitter. If you want to watch us on Twitch, well, there's a link there to do that as well. Ingamechat.net, ingamechat.net. N-E-T, not N-E-N-T. Nanette. Knit.
Good spelling.
Ingamechat.net. Yeah, you can find us over there and join in the chat room live while we broadcast. We're doing another show. Let's do this little thing here.
Is the date right on there?
It is. Because I looked at my watch just like I looked at my watch whenever I came across the 12th.
I just want to point out that I'm glad that the quality is still the same.
Oh, yeah, that'll never change.
That's part of our charm.
That was the weakest clap. Like, tap.
Come on, man. Slap it like you mean it.
Well, I did.
Good job.
Yeah, I don't want to break it. That cost you a good bit of money.
All of $5. Come on now.
It feels 10.
Yeah.
Maybe with tax. It feels, and shipping, it's 10. It feels a little bit more like that to me.
Yeah.
In-game shit.
Nothing that can't be replaced. So
I feel, what was his name? I don't know what his name is. The other Kermit the Frog in that movie, Muppets Most Wanted. What was his name? The in-game shit. Yes.
Not Cosmos.
No. I don't remember what his name was. Like Maury.
Constantine?
Constantine, yeah. Constantine. You're listening to in-game shit. Yeah. I'm Kermit. Welcome to the show, everybody. We're done with that crap.
for now.
Oh, so it's been a long time, and Matt might be surprised to know that I still playing Destiny.
Oh, cool.
I know. You thought I would break away from that. You thought he's going to change. Surely there's change within this man. He is going to change his ways and venture out and play new things and explore new worlds and experience new experiences. But nope.
Destiny.
Just more Destiny.
I need to load it up on my PS4. And because Sarah plays it on the PS4, and she's like, "Hey, we could play together." And I'm like,
Yeah, no. I'm on the PS4.
I'm just so far behind on it, like because I don't have the newest expansion and I haven't played in a while. So
Well, if there's any consolation,
Trying to pick it up.
I bought the expansion, but I haven't even started playing it yet.
You bought it for PS4?
For PS4, yeah.
Well,
and I'm
you
trying
know.
to figure out. I'm trying to get to a point where it's worth it to double dip. I mean, I could play with you and the group and everything else, but you know,
I know.
if it drops price again, I'll do it. Because it's 35, right? It's still 35.
You'd have to check. I've no
Oh, yeah,
idea.
I have to check then.
I really don't know. I have not looked up the price of Destiny in a while, so haven't had to. I looked it up just before the last season ended, and I bought it so that I could play while my computer renders. That's the only time I played on my PS4. It was fun to fire it back up on the PS4 Pro with a 4K set, 4K TV this time, and see everything. That game on the PlayStation 4 Pro
I need to get a Pro.
is dark.
Yeah.
It is extremely dark. Whatever, I don't know what the filter is, what the tint is, I don't know. And I didn't set any brightness levels when I signed into the thing. But it is set very, very dark. Which is amazing to see on an HDR TV, on an OLED screen, which they're the OLED TV sets. You cannot beat their black levels. You can't beat those, and they are super black levels. And so it is extremely.
Would you say it's almost
dark.
none more black?
It's what?
None more black?
None more black?
Yes.
Well, I just said that. I guess I don't. There are. You mean there are none more black than?
Spinal Tap reference.
Oh, okay.
The
Gotcha.
album is black. Yeah.
Yes.
$50 on Steam, by the way, upgrade edition.
50.
Yeah, 50.
Oh well, you're looking for PS4 stuff, right? Or were you
Yeah, I mean,
looking
I got
for
it. Like I said, I got it on PS4, but
Oh, you were no. You were showing some interest in PC the other week, weren't you?
yeah,
Yeah.
do it.
Me and Random and a couple other guys from the clan tried to do the raid yesterday. I didn't know that we were going to be doing Sherpa stuff, and I always like to raid when I can raid with our clan. I will. But in the amount of time it took us to get to the third encounter, I could have already run the full raid just by joining a group who wanted to. I was in the mood to just kind of I'd like to get this done, blow through it quick if I could, just shoom shoom shoom. And it really I did my fastest run last week through the raid itself, the new raid, which was I think 40. My previous speediest, I guess, was 49 minutes. This one was 45. So I'm bringing it down.
Okay.
So to a 45-minute run for the raid, which is not a problem at all. Do that 3 times a week, and I'm done on all my characters. So, you might be. What are you're warlock, right? Yeah, you're warlock.
That and a hunter.
That and a hunter. Yeah. Oh, Lethal Migraine. Yeah, by the way, Lethal's still here. So he's still here. He probably asks himself why he is still here, since I keep bringing up Destiny. But
That's what you played, so of course it's coming up.
yeah, well, I mean that's all I played, and I'm not going to go in much more into it. I looked at they. Either I didn't pay attention to the roadmap when they released it at the start of the season, or I only noticed it now that I've gotten so much stuff done. But there is no advancement for me until the 1st of February, either the very end of this month or the very beginning of February. There's no advancement for me because they will. A new enemy will be released at that point, and a new gun will be released at that point. Beating the enemy on the legendary difficulty and obtaining that weapon will finish me off for the season. And then I have until sometime in March when they do the new season. So, I mean, I don't have a lot. The only thing for me to do in between now and then is to just run these pinnacle activities that drop higher gear, and I'm almost maxed at that. Currently, most of my stuff is in the mid to upper 60s, and so when they hit 70, that's going to be the cap. That's the pinnacle cap, is 970 gear. So when you're running 3 characters, you hit that pretty fast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of nice to be like, okay, good, done. I'm not in a rush to get it done now. Everything's taken care of. Just like last season, it wasn't. I had I had about 2 or 3 weeks to do a whole lot of stuff in my game because I was going after that title, and I did a whole lot of grinding. So kind of glad I don't have to worry about that anymore. But that is what I played. RJ, what about you?
Still playing Code Vein. I'm getting to the point where I'm playing Code Vein like you are Destiny 2.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm still doing it, man.
We like what we like.
Yeah, opening up another character, trying to go with a bayonet main as a character. My first one is my first character, main character, the one I got to level 300. That's going to be the spear or halberd type. Second one is a great sword. Third type is one-handed sword, and now my fourth type is going to be the bayonet type. See if I can get through a story mode with that pretty well. Picked up a title on the during the holiday sale. Picked up Mother Russia Bleeds. I think Devolver Digital made that one. It's
really?
Side-scrolling me against the world type fighter, like a Streets of Rage or Final Fight, something like that. With Devolver Digital's little quirk put in there, the humor and the
their personality.
Aspect. Yeah, there you go. They got that put in there. Didn't have a lot of time with it, but I think I'm going to have a good time with that. Should get me warmed up for the Streets of Rage 4 that's coming up from Dotemu coming out, because they did put the character they wanted there.
I always pronounce that company as .emu.
Is that how it's supposed to be said?
No. I don't think so. I think you're more right than I am.
I don't know. We can find out. Chat, let us know.
I mean, because I always screw up names anyway. Come on, my record with names is not that great. So,
yeah.
Calling them .emu.
That might be the name for all I know. But yeah, like I said, it'll warm me up before they get their game finalized and released. And a little bit of Street Fighter V, which was in the news recently for their patch that someone did for their netcode. Someone did what they did for Dark Souls back in the day on the PC. They put the DS fix out there, which happens a lot. Someone gets there and does their thing, right? And we've always been told that Capcom was their best effort. This is what we do. This is our netcode. It's the best possible way it could be, and it's still a mess.
Yeah, I know.
Because I've had times where I've played, where I've set the thing to 5-bar connection only, and the game says 5-bar, but when you start playing, it plays like a 0-bar. I mean, choppy. Delays in the input and everything like that. And in a fighting game, timing is everything. So if your timing is thrown off or leaving a little bit, you're going to get messed up pretty quick. So someone apparently took a reverse engineered the code and in 2 days got a patch to fix the netcode for the PC side of things. Unfortunately, it caused a split because it was universal across the board. PC and PS4 users could play on this bad netcode equally. Yeah. But because this fix is in place, now, anyone with this fix in place will have very good connection, all right? But anyone who doesn't have it, people on PC who don't have it, or PS4 who can't get it at all right now, they're going to be at a clear disadvantage. The people with the fix are going to have crystal smooth sailing with their gameplay. Anybody who doesn't have it is going to be choppy, right? And so people are going to be using that, I know, to boost up their stats, getting easy wins on people who don't have it. So it's causing a split right now. So only solution now is like PC only, PS4 only. But Capcom did announce that they're going to be doing a fix or something later on, because their Championship Edition is going to be out in mid-February, I think the 20th, around that time. So they're going to be doing everything they can to get that fix handled, so that everybody can be on the same page from now on.
All right.
Yeah. But other than that, that's pretty much all I played this week.
Well, over to you, Matt. What have you been playing over the past, long time?
I don't know if I remember last time I was here, I mentioned that I got a new TV.
Oh.
I don't know if I mentioned that or not.
I don't think, maybe. I don't know.
So
what'd you end up getting?
I got a Samsung 65-inch 4K TV.
Okay.
So
QLED or LED?
I think it's just LED.
Regular LED?
think
Don't
so.
don't worry. QLED is also regular LED.
Okay. But so being able to go back and some of my older games and everything, bumping that resolution up and everything
Yeah.
on that, and seeing some 4K stuff has been pretty nice.
Where have you seen some 4K stuff?
Like some videos and everything.
Like YouTube stuff?
Movies.
Oh, okay. So you got a 4K Blu-ray, or you got a 4K player? What do you have?
Movies that you just get, from you download.
Oh! I see what you're saying. No, that's fine. Are you streaming or are you downloading them?
Downloading them.
Okay. Really? Oh man, you need to.
I need to get a 4K player.
That or the Xbox One X, which is a 4K player. You can go that route with it.
I don't really do much with physical media anymore. So, like, I don't buy, DVDs like I used to. I mean, Blu-ray like I used to. So, the idea of going back and...
I do notice a difference, but I tell you this. I notice a difference. First off, I haven't downloaded anything that's 4K. I have streamed 4K things off of, like, Vudu and Movies Anywhere and that sort of stuff, where I have all my movies.
Yeah.
And then I've compared them to actual physical copies of the movies I have. And the physical copies win every single time.
Really?
Not by much, but the quality is there with the physical media aspect. Not saying you should do that. It's probably a moot point for most people, but I put in the effort on the 4K TV. I want to see exactly what it can do.
Yeah.
And so I don't mind. I don't mind watching things, doing the stream stuff, or even doing some of the downloading stuff. I don't mind that. But if I do have the physical copy there, I will prefer to do that than otherwise. Unless I don't care. Unless it's something I don't care about. It's just like, yeah, I have that. I'll just whatever. I'll watch it. I'll stream it. I don't feel like getting up.
Yeah, having this nice big TV has been...
Yeah. No, you
nice.
gotta... Oh, man. You need to see some gaming content, buddy.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption being one of them.
I've been playing that.
On your PC, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Is your PC hooked up to your 4K thing? Does your PC output 4K?
I mean, I'm doing it at close to like 4... I mean, it's like 398 by 2 something. I forget what the resolution that I'm having.
Yeah.
They're running it at, but yeah, I think it's outputting it at 4K.
I know it's tough. Even on regular 4K monitors just made for computing rather than made for any other kind of, media entertainment or whatever, that having a rig putting out 4K content at good quality is a little tough for some rigs.
Yeah.
And was originally tough for Red Dead. I guess they patched that or fixed that or something.
Well, yeah. Went to so I've been playing Red Dead. Actually, I just got to chapter 3 earlier today before the power went out.
Oh yes.
Doing some Arma with Kevin a little bit. I've actually honestly had to take a break, but just because of work, so I haven't been playing too terribly much.
What are those? What are breaks? Is that when you don't play a game?
Yeah, because you're working too much. I got a fix for MechWarrior 5 where I could use my controller, my throttle, my HOTAS. And
that's always good for you, yeah.
I tooled around with that just a little bit. Still trying to tweak it a little bit more. But, that definitely has potential. Trying to think of really anything else I've been playing.
Yeah, Lethal Migrant says, you need to see some new gaming content, says the guy who only plays Destiny. I played Destiny on my 4K PS4 Pro. It looked really good. Actually, no, I played God of War, and I played God of War and Spider-Man in 4K, and that was amazing. And that wasn't even true 4K because the PS4 technically does not output true 4K images.
Yeah.
Very close, and it's very beautiful.
Yeah. Doing a little bit more of the Halo Master Chief, with Reach.
That's right.
Just playing a little bit of Reach. And I got Resident Evil 2 and 7 on a good deal, on sale. And so once 3 comes out, I think, in 2 months?
It's pretty soon, yeah.
April, I think.
Okay, April?
I think.
So once 3 comes out, I think I'm going to start with 0 and just play through all the numbered Resident Evils that I have on the PC. So 0 through 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say 4 is on the PC now too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is 6.
4, 5, and 6. Actually 7. 0 through 7.
7 is, yeah.
I never played much of 6, so that'll be a new experience.
I didn't play a lot of 6 either.
Whereas all the other
6
ones,
is the one that a lot of people didn't like.
I didn't like it.
6 a lot of people didn't like 6 from what I hear.
I didn't.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. But like going back through like with 0 where you have the tank controls and everything, and then the remake of 1, then 2's like the new version, and 3, then so that'll be kind of fun, like just doing the Resident Evils.
Yeah. April 3rd for Resident Evil 3 remake.
When's Last of Us 2?
May. Late
Is that May? Is that late May?
Mid or late May, I think, on that one.
I knew I got pushed back. It was going to be, I think, February, and I think it got pushed back to a later release, I believe. By the way, I got a battery for this thing.
May 29th.
May 29th.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's definitely on my radar.
Yeah, I've already done that pre-order in the big, statue special thing edition.
I think March is Cyberpunk.
Oh, that's right. Oh.
That's definitely one I'm going to
Yeah. Yeah.
April 16th.
For Cyberpunk?
Yeah, that's what it says here, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was in March.
Oof.
Jeez. Yeah, that's coming close. Oh, man. No.
The wallet's hurting.
It's not hurting. That's not hurting me. It's time is going to be hurting me.
Yeah.
Yeah, regardless of whatever you say about Destiny, man, Cyberpunk, and if it's anything like what Witcher 3 was,
Yes.
it's going to be the time availability to sink into that thing.
I need to play more of Witcher 3. I never finished it.
It's good. Looked like James was going back to playing that too. I saw him doing a lot of that. I never finished it either.
I mean, I heard that after, I'm sure you talked about it, after the series came out, it got the bump on.
Oh no, we talked about that last week.
Yeah.
All the just the sheer resurgence
And that's great.
of love for it came back.
I think, that's definitely a game that deserves the love that it gets.
Yeah. Yeah, no, good stuff. Good stuff for that. Okay, so that is probably going to be Chris.
In-game chat?
Let's find out. Nobody?
Dial tone.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, if you want to call us and leave a dial tone, then just do that. 334-272-9228 is the number. And, I know, no, CDPR does not make bad games. Witcher 2, Witcher 3, they're all fantastic. I never got on the Gwent train.
Even in, like, Witcher 3, I didn't really play Gwent at all. And I know that's, like, some of the side missions or, collect the cards. I'm like...
I remember when I played in... Okay, so I remember going through Witcher 3. And I remember the section, because it's early in the game, when they introduce you to Gwent. And I say, I'm going to learn this, because I'm role-playing this. This is what Witcher would do. He'd sit down, he's going to learn this. It's Gwent. It's what everybody knows how to play. I'm going to learn this. I'm going to do it. And I just could not hold my attention.
Yeah.
And thank God it didn't. Well, I mean, thank God it didn't have to. In other words, it wasn't a prerequisite of like, you've got to learn how to play Gwent if you're going to, if you're going to progress through this game. So, is that Chris? Let's go to Chris before we go to our break here, because we made him wait so long last week. Let's not make him wait this week. Hey, Chris.
Y'all doing okay today?
We're doing all right. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good, too. Of course, we had a few limbs down from the storm front that passed through, but everything was okay besides that and a whole bunch of rain. But,
Good
yeah,
to know.
I was outside sitting up under the carport, and I've been working on carving a wooden chain out of a stick I'd drawn a pattern on, and I've been messing around carving on that with some wooden gouges, so I've been messing around with that this afternoon.
No gaming?
Nope, no gaming.
All right.
I might do some later tonight or tomorrow since the storm's done passed, but yeah, I've been kind of taking it easy.
Okay.
Well, good. I was going to say, what have you been playing? But we already kind of know. He's been carving a stick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Looking forward to playing anything in the future, though?
Yeah, probably the Final Fantasy 7. Looks like from what y'all said, they pushed back the Last of Us 2 back further.
Yeah, late May.
When's 7 coming out?
I think March 3rd, unless they've changed it.
Now, I will say, even though during the times I haven't been watching or playing Destiny, I've been watching the Games Done Quick marathons.
Yeah.
That was fun. I watched them do Final Fantasy VI last night. They did a speed run of that with a whole lot of glitches. Whole lot of glitches.
Yeah. 6. Is that the one with Kefka?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. The
a ton of glitches.
March 3rd, they say, for Final Fantasy Remake.
Yeah. They use save game glitches. And I don't even know exactly how it worked. And then last night, I also watched a Destiny raid do a speed run through that, which is kind of cool. But last night they were letting it was something called TASBot, and it's basically Robbie the robot playing speed running through. He speed ran through Super Mario Brothers 3, and then he speed ran through Super Mario Brothers 2, and then he played Pokemon Blue. It's a robot speed running these things. I mean, it's completely programmed to do this at this certain time, but it's amazing how well it executes. Some of the stuff it was doing with Super Mario Brothers 2 was insane.
So they programmed Rob the robot on the Nintendo to play through Super Mario Brothers?
Super Mario Brothers 3 and 2. Let's see here.
That's interesting.
Did it make any mistakes, like, that it could recover from?
No, it didn't make any mistakes.
No mistakes
it didn't
at all.
make any mistakes. Let's see if I can find.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It would be more impressive if it made a mistake and had it recovered quickly or something like that. Like an ill-timed jump or bumped into something that it shouldn't have or something like that.
Yeah, I wish I could find I want to find a link to the Games Done Quick stream so that you could write where it's at so you could see that. Is this going to take me? This is going to take me to Twitch, but is it going to take me to the time that's stamped, or is it taking me to it live right now? Sorry to do this. If I do this, I'm going to put it in the chat room. No, they're doing Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
You recall how much time it took for the robot to run through it?
I think something like 15 minutes.
Goodness.
Yeah, it was fast. I
have to look that up. That sounds really interesting.
I really need to find. Let's see. Let me see if I can find. Okay, I'm gonna look for this link. We're gonna go. We're gonna take a break, but I'm gonna try and find this link and put it in the chat room. I don't know if you're in the chat room, Chris. I don't think you are, but I'm gonna try and put this in the chat room here and so everybody else can see it if I can find it. But thanks for calling, man.
All right, y'all have a good afternoon.
You have a great one.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Hey, if you want to be on the show like Chris was, you can by just giving us a call. 334-272-9228 is the number. We're going to go to a break here. I was thinking about a theme, and I don't know why it hit me. I don't know what I was doing and how it hit me. But the theme is, and there's no need to guess on any of this, but the theme is classical music used in video games. Actual classical pieces that are used in video games. Maybe they're retrofitted. Maybe they are somehow rearranged, but they're still in there. Stuff like that. So that's all we've got on our music beds for today.
One of the very first times I remember that was back in the Apple IIc 2GS days. Like back in the 80s. There's a game called Dexter by Sierra Online. And it's a transforming robot game, but they used Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata.
Oh, yeah. No, we've got some of that.
And then, was it the Dark Castle? Used, another, Canon, I think. But yeah, I remember that more from really old school games.
Yeah. Okay, okay, there we go. Let's see. It's got some video on demand. Does this go? Ooh, good. Does this show? Nope. It stops at 2017. Dang it. I really wanted to see that.
You said Thexter or Thexter?
Thexter with a T, I think. THEXTER, I think.
Okay. Because there's two things popping up here. Maybe I spelled it wrong. Let's see. It says something April of '85.
That sounds about right.
Right. Okay, yeah. All right. That sounds all right. Okay.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm still gonna look this thing up, but that's what we're doing for the music in this one. So we're gonna be going all over the place with different games and different composers. We're gonna start with probably one of the most direct connections to video gaming and classical music. And it actually features the composer that it is talking about in the beginning of the game, having a dream of some sorts, and I don't know if he's on his deathbed or whatever. But it's a game that came out for the Xbox 360 not too long ago, and I want to say probably the PlayStation 3.
Oh, yes.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I do.
It is called
Chopin.
Yes, it is called Eternal Sonata.
Yep.
And so here are you'll anybody with classical music, a fan of classical music will know exactly what this piece is. But this is called Raindrops. I believe this is the prelude, maybe. But anyway, that's what this is. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. You may not know the name of the piece, but you know what game this is from, don't you, RJ?
Yeah, I had to hear it a lot. The Evil Within.
Yes.
That save room with the nurse and getting that brain juice injected into you.
Brain juice.
There you go. Yeah, that green stuff.
Yeah, this is Evil Within. The save room in there plays Claire de Lune as I guess as you save. So, and this is actually from the game. It's got that scratchiness from a record from vinyl or whatever. So,
really sets the atmosphere in there. Has a very nice calming effect for all the stress, all the stress you had to go through to get to that save room.
Of course, yeah, definitely. So we found the video of the robot TASBot playing Super Mario Brothers 2. It's not necessarily that you're just watching a robot play a game. It's also all the little tricks that it does to speedrun this thing. Mm-hmm. And you just had a little taste, man. You have no idea what's left for you to see there. It's just amazing how well that was done and how they pulled that off. So I was insanely impressed and just blown away, just like you were when you were watching it a minute ago, just like, what? How? What?
It jumped over Birdo with a vegetable.
With the onion, yeah.
Yeah, threw it and it instantly picked it up, threw it again.
So, yeah, threw the vegetable at Birdo. It hits Birdo and then pops up, but he's fast enough, Toad is, or the robot, whatever, is fast enough to catch it before it leaves the screen.
Catch the ricochet for it.
Throw it again, boom, 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 back and forth.
And, done.
Yeah. It was insane.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff you don't know that's even possible in that game. Just by watching that speed run. It's insane.
Yeah, there's so many games like that, 20, 25, 30 years down the line that people are still finding out about the thing. I didn't know you could do that. Well, we do now.
Yeah. No, it's unreal. It's unreal. And it was fantastic to watch them do that. I've got it paused. I'm going to leave it up so that we can watch some more during the breaks and stuff. Moving on to, by the way, if you want to give us a call, 334-272-9228. Tell us what you've been playing, if you've been playing anything recently. And the music, by the way, that we're featuring in and out of spots here or commercial breaks is classical music that were featured in classical music pieces that were featured in video games. So you're gonna get a little culture on this show, whether you wanted it or not. Yeah. What do we have here? Man, we got a lot of news on some new systems. We thought. Maybe. We do. I don't know. I know AMD caught some flack for their render that they used for the Xbox Series X. But regardless of that, the CES is going on. And apparently the Project Scarlet processor has an 8K engraved on it. I don't think it's anything... Oh, this was before their keynote, so I don't even need that article. Never mind. Sorry. It started with the USB ports, which, it's not something I'm concerned about. Now, the original story showed that they only had one USB port, and it was on the back. But that was a problem, because following the publication of this, an AMD representative contacted us to clarify that the Xbox Series X model shown during their 2020 keynote did not come from Microsoft, and therefore it is not accurate. The imagery used during AMD's CES press conference was not sourced from Microsoft, does not accurately represent the design or features of the upcoming console. The rep added that the models shown were taken from turbosquid.com, and so they were not used, which is... It's like, okay, good job, AMD. I mean, come on. Be a little bit more... I don't know. It just, it annoyed me that even happened, as it shouldn't have. You didn't even have to do what they were doing, which was like some weird rotation pan around the whole box. Just, put the picture up there of what you've got.
Yeah.
What Microsoft has, put that. If you say, hey, can we show the back of the box, and Microsoft says no, then you don't show the back of the box. Just,
Simple.
yeah.
Should
But
be common sense.
they're going to do what they're going to do. Yeah, I know. We should wait for the card box replica update. Exactly. During Sony was in the CES game as well, showing off stuff. And what? I don't want to. Jim Ryan at CES says the PSVR sold 5 million units. PlayStation Network has reached 103 million MAUs. I don't know what that means. And that PS Plus has 38.8 million subscribers. So the link here from GameIndustry.biz says, this is a news brief. Read more about the story in the following link below. And it's a YouTube link. I was like, well, I can't read more about that because it's going to be a video. So, yeah. Yeah, I thought we had more information about the Xbox One X. Or the Xbox Series X, yeah. Microsoft's gradual ramp up to the full reveal of the Series X continues, with Phil Spencer sharing the latest clue towards a technical makeup of the new console. In the face of it, that was his Twitter profile. Actually getting any kind of meaningful measurement from this latest controlled leak from Microsoft isn't easy. The image is of a low resolution, taken at an angle with a curious lens distortion effect. The measurement, blah, blah, blah. Attaining the size of this chip gives us some idea of its architectural makeup, but more than that, area on a microprocessor isn't cheap. Every square millimeter adds to build cost, and it has to count. Yes, comparisons against new AMD parts could be valuable, but comparing chip measurements with prior console generations also gives us some idea on just how much investment Microsoft is sinking into this new console, and by extension, how much it'll cost to build and how much we may end up paying for it. Since the initial tweet, Senior Director of Xbox Hardware David Preen has also weighed in with a further shot of the new processor. Since Spencer himself is already in possession of a fully armed and operational Series X console, these processor samples are likely wastage from the production line. Yeah, they both use AMD. Should be pretty aware of what each company is going with. Yeah, it should be pretty aware of what they're going with, but the USB ports on the box and all this other stuff, I mean, they didn't have this. I'm responding to Lethal Migraine's comment there. They didn't have a official, legitimate image of the machine, so they went somewhere else and got one. Essentially, they looked at something and said, that looks right, we'll use it.
So a guesstimate?
Yeah, it reminds me of, I don't know, what are those commercials going around? Geico, I think it is. I don't know who it is. It's just okay, basically. Oh. Yeah, it's not a,
AT&T, isn't it?
I have no idea who it is.
Okay.
But yeah.
That's bad, a commercial. They're funny, you remember them, but you don't know
I don't remember who the advertiser is.
Yeah.
I deal with advertisers every single day that I work here, and so...
Yeah.
Trying to remember who does it. And I very rarely watch TV commercials. So these are ads that have to come up during videos that I'm trying to watch,
Can't skip.
Right, exactly. That's how that happens. What we did find out was that Sony, and please don't link to a thing. Okay, good. Jim Ryan was doing the CES keynote for Sony, and he is the president of Sony Interactive Entertainment. Mm-hmm. He teased that PlayStation 5 will have more unique elements that distinguish it from the firm's current console. Details about the upcoming device have been largely incremental improvements on the PlayStation 4's technology, such as 8K support and USB-C powered controllers with adaptive triggers. There's also been efforts to assure a smooth transition for PS4 owners, such as backwards compatibility, and to calm retail fears of a digital-only console, with Sony stating PlayStation 5 will use 100 gigabyte optical discs. Perhaps the most exciting feature announced is the replacement of the hard drive with a solid-state drive, which will result in much faster loading times.
Yeah.
Ryan promised there were a lot more to come, and that Sony is all too aware its next console needs major selling points to encourage people to upgrade from the PS4. Each time a new console is released, the processor and graphics improve, he said. Those are enticing, of course, but we need to have special appeals as well. We have already confirmed the use of a solid-state drive. Having load times that are next to nothing is a major change. 3D audio and the haptic feedback support of the controller are also things that, when you try them, you'll be surprised at how big a change they actually are. Even just playing a racing game with a PlayStation 5 controller is a completely different experience. While it runs well with the previous controller, there is no going back after you experience the detailed road surface via haptic control and play using the adaptive triggers. But there are still more unique elements for PlayStation 5 to come that separate it from previous consoles. The bigger differences have yet to be announced.
I remember when the DualShock first came out, and the first game I played for it was was Metal Gear Solid, the original.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of like that, where once you have that experience, like when the DARPA guy is like having a heart attack and your controller's like vibrating, with with his heart.
That whole thing with Psycho Mantis or
something
like
so
that,
like when you have that, like, oh my, you don't want to go back to how it was before. So it's interesting to see what this will be.
Mm-hmm.
It will be interesting. There's not much improvement needed to be done on either controller.
I think they fine-tuned both controllers enough.
Mm-hmm.
When you go back to the Duke, I guess, and see where the Xbox controller's gone from there, or the original PlayStation controller to where the PS4 is.
Mm-hmm.
They've refined them enough where I think they're both well made.
Yeah,
and they just fit really well in your hand.
The DualShock and the Xbox controller are pretty much, I feel like they're at their peak, although you see something like the Elite controller.
Yeah.
And I realize that's not necessarily improving upon the controller. It's just modulating what you can do and the different things you can do. It
just really customizable.
Really makes it customizable. So it doesn't, but it doesn't much change. The form is still there. Everything is still.
It feels the same. It's just you have the triggers and you could adjust the thumbstick.
And then Sony just recently added an adapter to their controllers, which puts buttons
on the back and the screen on the back for something.
Yeah, for something like that. And
I think that thing was like $20. I think $20 add-on. I think.
So I mean, clearly they can find rooms to add on. I don't necessarily know if those improve anything, but clearly they can find improvements, or not improvements, but additions to it, or things that you can do.
I'm trying to figure out this. Yeah, I didn't really see much with the screen on the back. How's that supposed to help?
I know you won't look at it much. All I can think about is more buttons on the back for whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
maybe if L3 and R3 are too difficult or clunky for you or whatever.
Yeah, I don't exactly know. It doesn't add anything to it. It's just a way you can customize button settings and that sort of thing. So, and I haven't used it, and I probably never will. But this may be a direction that they're going in. I know that a lot of people have talked about that the PlayStation 5 controller being pretty, I don't want to say unique, but something different. Mm-hmm. It looks the same, but there's something different about it. Maybe that's what it is.
I had the Xbox Elite controller.
Yeah.
And one of the things I wish that you could do with the software is, you could remap the buttons, the triggers on the back, the little, but it's kind of a one-for-one where you can map this to A, B, X, Y. Mm-hmm. But I want to be able to, if I can map it to like A plus B,
Yeah.
That way I hit this button and it'll hit two buttons at the same time. Mm-hmm. I wish it would do that. But
we were talking about that. You and I were talking something about that where, and the best example I could give you was something to do with Destiny. I don't know, where I have to go to a screen first and then hit another button to get to a second screen that I needed to get to.
Yeah.
And I wanted some button that is just like I press it once and boom, it takes me right there. Because it combines those two things, kind of like a macro or something like that, where it combines the two button presses. Within seconds apart, so it just flashes right to the thing I want to. Now, on the PC, you can set your controls to do a whole lot of things. Mm-hmm. If you want to go to specific pages, you can have a key on your board or button press of some type that can take you to that. You don't necessarily get that on the console, which is why it was something that I was talking about. Like, I hope that's something that the PlayStation controller, the add-on we were talking about, could do that, where it takes me immediately to such and such screen. I'm trying to think if God of War had anything like that. And it does. Like, God of War, and I want to say maybe even Horizon Zero Dawn, when you either get new gear or you have new upgrades to go to, you first hit a button that takes you to a menu, And on that menu is, and I think Monster Hunter World does the same thing. On that menu, you will find your upgrades, your gear, your XP stuff, your map, everything else. But when you press the one button, it takes you to the main menu screen of that, whatever the default setting is. Maybe it's your gear. Maybe it's the map, whatever. And then you have to use L1, R1 to slide it over to the space you want.
Yeah.
Would love to set something up to where...
Yeah, I want to go straight to upgrades.
Yeah, I want to go straight to this page.
Yeah.
Hit that button, boom, takes you right there to it. You know? I would love to get some more user customization options. That's something that has always been missing, actually, in console compared to PC, is the customization options that you can have. The key mapping. And controller setup and that sort of thing is one of the things you don't get too well. There's a great question that was posed in our chat room that I want to get to maybe when we come back, and that is, which console is going to come out first? Do you think Sony releases first, or do you think Microsoft releases first? You know, we talked about this. You weren't here.
I think Microsoft will.
I'm sort of leaning to Microsoft as well, but and we talked about this. I think it was last week. Was that it's fun because price is going to, I feel like price is going to determine the winner on this. I think price always determines the winner on this.
Yeah.
So who announces the price first, and then who
Counter punches?
Right?
Yeah.
Like, do they have that in their backup plan? Yeah. So if,
or is it going to be something like who comes out first makes the mistakes, and then whoever comes out second sees what happens.
And do you think they talk to it? Do you think they talk to each other about how they price their stuff, or do they not? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I wonder.
I feel like I sound kind of naive in saying that.
I wonder if it would be like, all right, we have this ideal price, but we also have this the lowest possible.
We got a
price.
range.
We have this range that if they come out where it's way higher, then we won't do as much. But if it's
but what if you're going first?
Yeah. Then you just gotta take the risk.
I'm trying to think. This feels like that book we got, Console Wars.
Console Wars.
It feels like there was a part in there about the talk between Kalinsky and
Howard.
Someone about
if you're talking about Sega and Nintendo.
Yeah, something like that. They were talking about price between each other, something like that. Or talking to them. They do talk amongst themselves. That's that book. That's that book show.
I figured they do, but I mean, at the same time, I know that you can't give away anything. You know what I'm saying?
No, who says you have to tell the truth?
Right. Well, that's true.
There you go. Yeah.
And then it becomes, well, what a fun game that is. Of is he bluffing us
business
that they're going to do this? What's the deal?
It's business. Yeah.
So
I have
what
no idea.
you guys doing? I don't know. Maybe $10. What?
I mean, they're all going to sell them at a loss. Yeah. They always do. They don't make profits off of these things until
the games
years and years later.
Yeah.
So, but how much of a loss are they willing to take?
Yeah.
And
then we talked about the price that would start scaring people off. There's a level you can go to before people are like,
right,
not doing it.
And $500 is, I believe, that ceiling. That is it. $500 is bad.
It's pretty steep,
but it is the highest I think you can go.
Yeah, I'll tell that Sega Saturn when it first came out, or the Neo Geo home console
that
was out.
Well, tell it to the PlayStation 3 when it first released.
The Philips, was it?
The 3DO?
Yeah, 3DO.
Oh, no, yeah, massively expensive machines.
Yeah.
But
say to pay PS3, but I'm talking about way back before.
No, I get that.
Yeah,
no, I understand. I'm just saying. Here's the more modern. Well, hell, if you really want to talk about it, here's the more modern exception, or not exception, but the more modern example is the Xbox One.
Yeah,
$500 at release, tanked. Nobody was buying that. It was too much when your PlayStation 4 was sitting there $100 less for you to buy, and had to come with the Kinect and all that stuff. And then they made a Kinectless one that dropped the price. Then they made the S that dropped the price even further. Yeah. And then so I mean,
but I mean, the point we're trying to make, folks, is that $500 for a console price has been bad for a long time.
Right.
So
I think that is your limit. Like if you go 500, you're putting a risk. If you go 400, you're pretty safe. But how much are you spending on this thing to where you can take that much of a loss selling it $400?
Yeah.
Because I know that they're telling them, look, if we sell it at this price, then we have to move this many consoles in this amount of time to start making a profit. And if none of this lines up, then that date gets pushed back further and further before we see a profit on this machine. And a lot of the times, the profit doesn't start until around the last year of the console's lifespan, maybe the second to last year of the console lifespan. You may live in an Xbox area, and that's fine. I just know that sales initially on that November whatever showed that PlayStation 4 was just knocking it out of the park. And I have to think that it's because of the price of the console. You coming around during the season, during the holidays, people are going to the stores to buy these machines. They're looking at it. Parents are just like, my kid wants the new video game machine. Goes up to the whoever, if they're doing that, or maybe they're doing it on Amazon. I like to think parents now have moved into we've been doing this long enough that I like to think parents know exactly what their kids are talking about. When their kids say, hey, I want the new it's not
certainly more than they used to be. Yeah.
Exactly. Used to be your parents would say, hey, you got that new Nintendo? And then they were talking about like Microsoft's Xbox. Nintendo was the word for like Coke. It's like, I'll take a Coke. Which one do you want? Sprite.
Yeah. Coke just means all fizzy beverages. All fizzy
exactly.
Beverages
So
Coke.
Nintendo meant all video game systems.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's a great question to have, and we're way over time here. Luckily, this next song is extremely short. It's only about 40 seconds long. I could have found the longer version, but I wanted what was used in the game. So this is used in the game. It is extended in the game because the sequence and the segment can go a lot longer than what this actual track can do. There are 3 different versions of the sequence in the game, and the music that they use is something different every single time in all 3 sections. The first one is this one that we're going to play for you, but they also use Flight of the Bumblebee, and they use a couple of other things mixed in with some of the other sections of it as well. It's a fun little break from the seriousness of what the game is doing throughout the game itself. It is a fantastic game. The game is called Valiant Hearts. The sequence is when you're driving the car during the car driving sections. I don't know how much of the game you played, Matt.
That's a World War I game, right?
Yeah, Valiant Hearts, yeah.
I don't remember.
The nun, the soldier, the dog.
Yeah.
It was a nun, right?
There was a
nurse.
Nurse,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
And the nurse, I want to say it's the nurse here that is doing the driving sections, and they're fantastic. And they're a little bit of fun. They're sort of rhythmic in time with the music and everything. So this first section takes place in Paris, and this is the Can-Can. We'll be back with more in-game chat after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. STM Fuller nails it. I have to ask how he knew that. Not what gave it away, because, I mean, obviously it's the piece that gave it away, but how did you know that it was New World Symphony? Yeah, it is the last music, the fourth movement. And I was curious as to how you know that, so I'm going to wait for him to hear this and respond, because I am very curious. And I'm also curious if he knows what game this is from. We'll see whatever his response is, and see what he says. Because if he says, "Oh, I studied classical music and whatever," or "I'm a fan of this piece," or whatever, then he probably won't know what the game is from. Classical's wonderful. I could sit here and listen to pretty much all of the stuff. The one we got coming up after this is another one. It's a movement from a piece that I've heard far too many times, and I honestly can't stand to hear any more of it. It is a beautiful piece, but I prefer the piece of it that we're going to play.
So it's not talking about,
He has a degree in music. Okay, that's fine.
Ooh.
He says several reasons to have a degree in music.
Nice.
Oddly enough, this game comes from, I want to say this is a Capcom game.
Resident Evil.
No.
No way, that'd be Mega Man.
I want to say it's Capcom. It may not be. It is one of my favorite games, if only because of the mechanics that are used.
Okay.
And you have to understand my love of certain mechanics in games that everybody else hates.
QTE?
That would be correct. It is a QTE fest. There is pretty much nothing else you do in this game but QTEs. It's Asura's Wrath. Is that ringing a bell at all for you? Yeah, is that Capcom?
I believe so.
Is
Asura's
it?
Wrath.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're playing as a demon hell-bent on revenge.
Yeah.
Thor got it. Thor 66 got it.
Yeah, he got it.
In fact, I think someone did a mod of Ryu in Street Fighter that makes him look like
really?
Ashura.
Okay.
Either him or Akuma, one of the two. I think there's a mod someone did for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. People want a remake or a remaster of that game. They've been wanting it very badly.
There's a lot of Capcom properties that people want remade.
Yeah, they're just going to keep doing Resident Evil because it's currently their
Making
bank.
money.
Whatever makes money, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted Darkstalkers. We wanted another Darkstalkers for so long, but they tested it out with Darkstalkers Remastered, and the numbers didn't tally up to their liking. So they said nope.
STM Fuller, I wanted to ask him real quick, and he will give him time to get the question. But is that a Russian composer on that one, Dvorak?
Dvorak, didn't he do the keyboard?
No. If it's a Russian, I think it's a Russian composer. And the reason I say this is because the first thing that RJ thought was that it was Jaws.
Sound like Jaws.
But understand that John Williams, who did the Jaws score, is no stranger to wearing his influences on his sleeve, basically. Those being Russian composers. Dude loves Russian composers. I heard, in just this piece alone, I heard Jaws, and I want to say a little bit of Star Wars in there too, somewhere. With the horns section, I want to say.
Fuller's responded. He says check.
Was he Czech? Okay.
Okay.
So I wasn't sure. Anyway, what were you saying, Matt?
He's a checkmate.
Yeah. What were you saying? Before I interrupted you about asking STM Fuller a question. We were talking about Capcom and their remakes, and we were talking about...
I think just people, and maybe Capcom in general, but like the fans were just so surprised with Resident Evil 7 being as good as it was and the reception that it got, especially after 6. Then the remake of 2, and so that's why they're going 3. That they're like, well, if this is making us money, apparently there's a fan base out that where we're starting to do well again.
But there's a certain level where you can't do remakes anymore because they're too modern for you to do anything with. I would say that probably starts with maybe 4 or 5.
Too soon to reboot.
I would say 4 would be okay because they did like an HD remaster of 4, but
I don't know about 4, man. I mean, it still looks good and holds up as is right now. So
I would say because just redefine the controls and
no, the controls were Are the controls pretty much the same before? It's been
They got better with the remaster, I think.
Yeah.
That was one of the issues that people had with the original version.
Yeah, 4 was the one that started the
over the shoulder.
But
real life. Could you still move when you had your gun aimed?
Movement in that game was a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was an issue that got fixed in the remaster, I believe.
Okay, I haven't played the
was
remaster.
Something that they when they did the remaster, they said you can play this classical style, or you could play it this way, which does a bunch of different things.
I would love to see them like redo Code Veronica.
Or maybe it was the PC version that alleviated that. I can't remember.
I'm not sure. But if they would redo Code Veronica,
Thor 66 mentioned that. Yeah, Code Veronica because Code Veronica had Code Veronica X, I think, didn't it?
Yeah,
that was the
for
latest. That's the latest version.
PlayStation 2.
So they'll break away from the main line and go into the others. Which again, that's fine because what they can do then is say, look, we're still giving you these Resident Evil remakes.
Yeah.
Still go out and buy them, and people will. So yeah, which I guess delays any sort of Resident Evil 8 ever coming out.
Yeah. Since
they keep remaking these things.
Oh, and then they had that. I think they say there's something about that instead of the mercenaries mode in RE3, they're going to put that Resident Evil Survive or some type of online game in there with it, survival type game in there or with it.
Did you see that?
No.
Mercenaries.
It's a 4-player versus monster thing, and so it's all player versus player.
So like asymmetric fight, kind of like Friday the 13th.
Very much like Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess you'd be the the nemesis.
You're the guy setting traps for them, and then if they get to a certain if they make it a certain length into your whatever the dungeon you've crafted, then you can start controlling a character that is actually chasing them down. From what I remember.
Yeah.
So
interesting. Like I mean, see how it pans out.
I mean, I initially heard that, and I'm like, I'd rather play Mercenaries. I'd rather do that. But
yeah, Resident Evil 4 was a Wii exclusive, and so
for
the controls.
A good while.
It was, but then when it got a PC release, I think a lot of people kind of were swayed more towards that because controls. Oh, thank God!
Yeah.
I think it came out on other consoles too.
Eventually, I think it lost that exclusivity. Yes,
it was like a timed exclusive.
Yeah.
They eventually lost.
Wait, it wasn't a Wii exclusive; it was a GameCube exclusive.
4?
Resident Evil 4 came out on the GameCube.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was on the Wii.
Nope. GC, baby.
Are you sure?
100%.
You are. I know you are because I can see the box art in my head and that stupid little GameCube thing.
Yeah.
GameCube was it was a great console.
It was a fantastic console. It was a console that should have had
better life,
a longer life, and just. Now, I will say my problem with the GameCube felt like it was it felt like kind of what most of what Nintendo consoles end up being, which is a nostalgia machine, but a remastered nostalgia machine. Because I promise you, my library of GameCube games
were wonderful.
Well, no, they were, but consisting of games that are outside, that are original IPs, very few. Very few.
In fact, now that you mentioned, it's the only game I recall really wanting for the GameCube. It was only one game so far, but when they did that Resident Evil remake on it, I mean, that thing looked really good and really.
It was amazing looking.
Yeah.
For what we were seeing for something that was on a disc about that big and a Nintendo console.
Yeah.
And we're seeing visuals like this for the Resident Evil game. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I would just remember that was Chris just saying it was Resident Evil was on the GameCube. But
Yeah,
I remember they had a chainsaw controller for that game.
I remember that, yeah.
I think there's one sitting over at
What is it?
Retro Game Planet.
Chainsaw controller.
I want to say it's still sitting over there, maybe, but no. I was thinking that my game library for the GameCube was mainly comprised of nostalgia titles.
Really?
There were very few original titles. Eternal Darkness was one of them.
Eternal Darkness, Robotech,
Robotech I never had.
Oh, that was great. That was a fun one. The Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
See, I don't want to say that's an original thing because it's Star Wars. It's still building off of something else. So, I mean, here, I'll go down the list. It was Eternal Darkness being an original title there, Pikmin being an original title as well, something brand new, something we hadn't seen before. Then it was Rogue Squadron. Then it was Metroid Prime, which, again, was building off of whatever. Then it was Super Mario Sunshine. Then it was Luigi's Mansion, which, again, Luigi's Mansion was nice because that was kind of new setting or whatever, but it's still using Luigi. Then it was Mario Kart Double Dash. Then it was Mario Tennis. Then it was Mario Baseball. Then it was Mario Golf, I think, was another one that we played. Then it was Mario Party. And and I think maybe there was an F-Zero. Was there an F-Zero for the GameCube?
Let's see. I'm pulling up a list now. F-Zero.
So you didn't get Robotech?
No, I did not.
Oh, that was a really good one.
F-Zero GX.
I thought there might have been for the GameCube. I don't know.
There was a Mario soccer game, wasn't it? On there as well.
They had the remake of the Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, there was also Zelda. You're right. There was Zelda Wind Waker, of course.
Wind Waker. That was,
There was Zelda Wind Waker, of course. That's the other one that I had as well. But again, that was not something that was. Yes, it was an original. They're putting Zelda in a different thing, but I'm still playing or putting Link in a different thing, but I'm still playing a Zelda game. I'm still playing a Mario game, whether it's Mario goes to the baseball field or the tennis court or the basketball court or
Sunshine
whatever.
Island or whatever.
All of this different stuff, but it's still like, let's put our characters into these situations. Everybody's familiar with their characters. Let's let them do that. I had very few titles that were original IPs or something unique, something different. Eternal Darkness,
that was
Pikmin.
Yeah, Eternal Darkness was an amazing one.
I thought there was another one I mentioned, but I can't remember what it was now.
What?
A GameCube game that was brand new for me.
New IP.
I did have that Resident Evil remaster, though. That thing was a beautiful looking thing for a GameCube game.
Yeah.
Because they also released Resident Evil 2 and 3 on the GameCube.
Yeah. Yeah, Super Mario Strikers is another one. I had all of that because it was, at the time, like, James was coming over. Jeremy would stop by at times, and we were, and then there was another group that we were playing with as well. They would come over, and we would all play these 4-player games. And that's the only, so it benefited me to buy those because I was like, ooh, this is another game we can play. We had so much fun with Double Dash. So then when we moved on to like Strikers or Tennis or whatever it was, we were having a lot of fun with those because you could play doubles and it's 4 players. And the Wavebird was a wonderful controller.
That was.
But yeah, that was. Was there anything? I'm trying to remember if there was anything else that was really, really unique about some of the games that the GameCube released with. But that was pretty much what my library was. It was a nostalgia stack. It was good nostalgia. Don't get me wrong. Metroid Prime is fantastic.
Wind Waker was.
And Wind Waker was wonderful. God, I loved Wind Waker.
One of the best Zeldas.
It is.
Did you get Star Fox on there?
I don't think I did.
Okay.
But I know they had a Star Fox game for the GameCube.
Yeah, Star Fox Adventure, Star Fox Assault.
Which again, this is what you seem to get from Nintendo. Every time a new console is out, it's like, all right, here's our guys. Mario, go out there. It's not necessarily their greatest hits, but it's like
the further adventures of
find something new. And now Nintendo has taken a lot of steps to improve their libraries, especially their exclusive ones, but not necessarily out of their own development house. You know what I'm saying? Out of their own Nintendo developed games. Yeah, they brought Platinum Games in for the Astral Chain game, which is, I think is done well.
Smash Brothers on the GameCube.
Smash Brothers as well. That was another one, but I'm not a fighter game. But there were tons of people who played it over at the house because I'm like, you guys go nuts. But again, that's your other thing. It's like, Smash Brothers, here we go. Roll them out again. They don't. Eternal Darkness was Silicon Knights that developed that. Metroid Prime was not a Nintendo developed game, I don't think, but it was.
I don't think it was.
It was a Nintendo property, but developed by somebody, an outside.
Was it Rare?
I thought it was Rare. Maybe
Retro,
it was.
It says Retro Studios.
Retro Studios. That's who it was.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just find a way to stop. And again, with the Switch, here's Zelda. You know, here's our Zelda game for Switch. Here's our Mario Kart game, which is basically the same Mario Kart game you just played, but with everything added in, and you don't have to buy anything. You don't have to.
Here's
get
our
any extras.
Mario.
Yeah.
Here's your Pokemon.
You know, here's the Pokemon again. I can't speak for the Pokemon side of things, but
Here's
yes.
Witcher 3.
Well, see, that's the thing. They started, you know, it's honestly, it started with the Wii whenever they released Mad
World. Yeah.
This amazing looking
Almost
black and white game,
hyper violent with the
but
red.
hyper violent as hell.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is on, and it was only on Nintendo's system. And I was like, this is amazing. This is wonderful that they're kind of branching out of this and saying, hey, yeah, we're not going to stick in the
And they
I
helped,
mean,
that,
like-
and that
We're
game
gonna stay in the kiddie
and that helped
pool
us
now.
get and
I
that
would
helped,
say-
that helped us get Anarchy Reigns. After
But
that.
I would say, like,
Bayonetta.
even
Yeah,
that would
that
go
too.
back to the GameCube with Eternal Darkness, because that was super. I mean, that was a crazy game. There was like insanity, there was violence, there was, you know.
I don't remember much of the violence. I do remember the insanity aspect, but I don't remember much of the
Yeah.
violence.
That's the one with the one that said the volume control was going up, right?
Yeah, or like
Yeah.
reformatting your memory card, or you start off and you just explode, or you're like fall through the, you know, like any kind of glitch because you're going crazy.
No, it was fantastic the way they implemented it.
Yeah.
It was great with the mechanics. It was great with the gameplay and that sort of thing. But again, it was not a Nintendo thing. It's you know, it was Nintendo putting a game from a different developer on there, but Nintendo themselves branching out. And I could be wrong. There's going to be people listening to this probably yelling at whatever they're listening this through, saying, you forgot about this and this and this, and I probably did. Which is why we have an email, which is why we have phone numbers, which is why we have ways for you to get in touch with us and tell us where we were wrong in that regard and to inform us so that we can come back. That reminds me.
Tell us how much you liked Robotech, because that was an amazing game.
Yeah. That reminds me that I recently posted a picture on the Steam page for Destiny. I took a screenshot and I posted a picture saying what was going on. And Consigliere, which I think I said that wrong, he's written to us before. But he left a comment, and I don't have my Steam page up here to read what that comment was. But he left a comment, and, you know, I tell you what, during the break, I'll try and get to that on my phone and see if I can read that comment, because he said that would be a great discussion to have on the show. And I did want to reply to him, because he told me, he's like, don't reply here, talk about it on the show. I was like, okay. So I want to find that and do that. We're going to take a break here, unless you, what were you looking at?
I was just looking at what you were talking about with Nintendo in terms of making stuff, and I'm looking at the list of Wii games. And what's like, out of 20 of them made by Nintendo?
I don't know.
No, I'm looking at, there's only 20 games here that says was developed by Nintendo.
Probably 10 of them are Mario.
Well,
Or in the Mario universe of some sort.
Super Mario. Yeah, you're probably right.
Twilight Princess.
Out of that and a bunch of the Wii Fit, Wii Party, Wii Music, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, there was all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot developed by Nintendo in the list of Wii games that I see here.
This track comes from the game Earthworm Jim 2. Yes, there was classical music used in Earthworm Jim 2. The level was called See Jim Run, Jim Run.
Jim Run, yeah.
Yes.
The run between you and, I'm trying to think who he was racing against.
I don't know.
Psychro, I think. He was running against Psychro, trying to get to the rocket before he did. Yeah, I remember that one.
But they used a classical music piece in that.
Piano. Lots of piano in there.
Well, yeah. I love the comment on this. The comment when I went to the YouTube page for getting this, by the way, this is the third movement of the Moonlight Sonata. Mm-hmm. First movement of Moonlight Sonata is a beautiful piece. I love it. I've heard it
a lot.
far too many times, and I don't need to hear it anymore.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily get a lot of the third movement.
No.
The third movement, very fast-paced. The comment that somebody left on this one said, they were quoting Beethoven, said, I bought the piano, I'm going to use I bought the entire piano, I'm going to use the entire piano.
Yeah.
And that's exactly, oh, look, oh, Motile, oh,
Hey,
you
Motile.
you are wonderful. You are wonderful. I am going to, I know it formatted badly, but, not a fan. There are a very select few I'll use in the game. No, he did another response to that. If you can find that one and throw it in there, I would love it. It's the response. See, I responded saying I'm not a fan of them. There's select few. Also, the bow shown in this picture, blah, blah, blah. And then he responded to my comment on that. Get that response. It's a long one. You may have to post a couple of times. And I'm going to try and find it during the break. Anyway, here is Moonlight Sonata Movement 3 from Earthworm Jim 2. Oops.
Oops.
Honestly don't want to interrupt this. It's just too beautiful. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Ave Maria, of course.
Mm-hmm.
First time you hear this, I think, is in Hitman Blood Money.
Yeah, in the funeral?
Yeah. Or I think just the main game. I think that's the thing that opens it up, yeah. Probably somebody calling, why are y'all playing classical music on the show? But yeah, so beautiful, beautiful piece. But oh yeah. No, that's fine. He knows exactly what we're doing. And welcome to the show, Master Thespian. Hello.
Hello, and greetings and hallucinations, one and all.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. I'm loving you guys talking about the GameCube.
It was one of my favorite consoles.
Well, that was sort of the default console at our house for a long time.
Do you still have it?
Well, as a matter of fact, my son took his with him, but I was going through some storage and discovered a box remember when Toys R Us and all the other retailers were getting rid of the old consoles in favor of the new?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have in the box a brand new GameCube along with 3 controllers that I bought when they had marked them down to a ridiculous price.
That's amazing. That's great.
I forgot about it, so I got to find somebody I can sell it to. But,
I happen to know someone right now.
Oh,
No.
really? What, you want one?
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll talk online on the phone after we get done here. But we played the heck out of the GameCube game. It was whenever the family would get together, we'd play Mario Kart Dash and Super Mario, the Brothers Smash, whatever the Smash Brothers game is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And even when we got the Wii, we would then move and take those games to the Wii and use it on the big TV in the living room. But I mean, it was so much fun. My youngest son has played all of the Zelda titles.
Oh, yeah.
Wind Waker was his favorite. Loved Wind Waker.
I was overjoyed. It's honestly my first Zelda game.
Yeah. I remember when that first came out, a lot of people were upset.
They didn't
because
like it.
They didn't like the art
They
style.
didn't like the
but
aesthetic, yeah.
That is the most expressive Link out of all the games.
Well, and there's so many things you have to do, and you have to learn how to play the songs, how to use your magic wand to create the wind. All these things that you have to do that is so much more than just let's go fight a monster and open a treasure.
Yeah.
You know? And the mapping, where you had to find on the map this place that you don't even know where it is, how to get there, and it opened up that whole idea of creative learning. It wasn't just playing a game. You were learning how to manipulate and wander about in a new world. And my son loved it. I remember when they did the Twilight Princess, and we had gotten a Wii, and he was agonizing. Do I get the version for the GameCube? Do I get the version for the Wii?
I would say the GameCube game would be the one. Because,
that's the one he got.
Because that's the actual, in my opinion, the true game. Because Link is always left-handed, and that was the left-handed Link. And so for the Wii, they mirror swap the entire game, so it's actually mirrored. So that because most people play with your right hand, because most people are right-handed, and so when you're waggling the Wii remote around, most people want to see it with the right hand. Whereas Shigeru Miyamoto was left-handed. That's why Link was left-handed.
See, I did not know that. But that's the one that he got. He got the GameCube version. The first Wii Zelda we got was the one where all the islands in the sky, and you had to, fly from place to place. I don't remember the name of that. It wasn't Breath of the Wild was the most recent one.
Skyward Sword.
Yeah, Skyward Sword. And he saved up his money. He got the special edition one that had the gold Wii controller and had the soundtrack, the musical soundtrack that was played by the symphony. And great. And he still plays Zelda games. He's got a Switch. It's the latest thing that he purchased. Still plays the games on the Nintendo 3DS. But I don't know when the next console's coming out, if they're planning on doing yet another Zelda game. I think they're coming out with another Zelda game for the Switch, if I remember correctly.
They're working on another Zelda game, yes.
Yeah, I think Breath of the Wild 2.
I believe so, yeah. In fact, we saw, they did Breath of the Wild 2 is what it will be.
Yeah.
For the Switch.
He'll be getting that. He's lucky he's got a girlfriend that loves to play games as well. She is one of the editors on comicbook.com, and they get new games ahead of time to review, and so she says, come here, Elijah, you're going to be my guinea pig on this game. So he's got to play all sorts of cool stuff early, and be her official gamer buddy that can tell her, okay, this is what works for this game, this is what doesn't work.
Well, that's great. That's fantastic.
But, we still have a whole bunch of GameCube games at our house that we play on the Wii. My youngest, she enjoyed playing the Mario Party games. So we have a number of those.
Yeah.
Don't suppose you had the GameCube Fire Emblem, Radiant Dawn?
Which?
Fire Emblem?
Maybe. Was that trying to think what
So
Fire-
it's an RPG type game, right?
Yeah, it's a JRPG.
Japanese RPG. Yeah.
Turn-based.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think we have that one. I don't think we have that one. So. Anyway, but yeah, it was fun. We loved the GameCube, and sadly, consoles get old. And
Yeah.
make food, and,
Just
and
remember the times you had with them fondly.
I still remember when I played the Atari when it first came out. Goodness gracious!
Not me.
I
Did
did.
not have did not have an Atari.
And
I remember that.
television.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was fun to come down to the Christmas tree and see the Atari console under the tree and games.
Game controllers don't need more than one button. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I changed my mind when the first Nintendo came out.
What? A whole 2 buttons? That's
That's
like
crazy
twice as many
talk.
buttons. How am I going to control all this? It's too many buttons.
There's some
Wait a
more
minute.
fluffy, yeah.
So you actually have pictures on here instead of dots and lines? What?
Yeah.
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 So it's interesting. People my age, I'm in my 50s, we're the ones that saw all these developments from
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
the very early lines all the way up to where we are now. And it's fascinating to me in my lifetime to see that development come about. And, it's fun. And I appreciate the fact that you guys sit around and talk about it. Great.
Thank
I
you.
love listening
Thank
to
you
it.
much.
Thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, I'll hang on the line.
Oh, yeah. So you guys can
Yeah.
do your business transaction. All right, I'll put you on hold. There you go.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah. I remember the times with Atari as well. I played so much Yar's Revenge and River Raid and Kaboom and Atari 2600 had some good times on that one.
Looking over some of the rest of the news here, we got about 10 minutes left. I'm looking at something about Xbox Series X. As our content comes out over the next year, 2 years, all of our games, sort of like PC, will play up and down that family of devices, said the head of Microsoft's internal development teams. We want to make sure that if someone invests in Xbox between now and Series X, that they feel they made a good investment and that we're committed to them with content. In other words, it's the backwards compatibilities, the cross-generation compatibility type stuff.
That's what moves systems, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
library,
It's a huge deal,
That's why I was thinking about all the talk they were having about features they had on there. There's some plenty of times where the features in there are nice and everything, looks good on paper, but it's the library that really moves your systems. Mm-hmm. So the backwards compatibility, all your games are on there. That's a big enough library as is. So
Yeah, I'm looking here. However, Microsoft does not plan on releasing games exclusive to the Xbox Series X until at least a year after the console launches. So at launch, they will not have any exclusive titles.
what do you think that means? Like, see how it does first before we start investing heavily into exclusive titles?
Well, no, they already are investing heavily into exclusive titles. It's just the games won't be ready at launch.
Won't be ready to launch, okay.
They showed off Hellblade 2.
Oh, okay.
As a not a launch title, but an exclusive title.
Okay.
But it won't be ready at launch. So, I hear Matt over here trying to work out a deal.
Negotiations.
Yeah.
Business.
Warner Brothers teased more Batman stuff, but it was a tease. I mean, that's all it is. Their Twitter page, their Facebook page, their social media pages tweeted different parts of a symbol that has maybe something to do with Batman. We don't know, but the tease was capture the night on all of them. And the night, of course, spelled Knight. So it's still a situation where, we still don't have anything concrete, but here's hoping it's coming soon. So how did that go? Do you now own a new GameCube?
I need to do some research to see how much because I haven't even looked at how much the consoles are going for and everything. So I just want to figure out pricing and stuff.
Why do you want a GameCube?
I'll tell you after.
Oh, okay.
Because it's for something, and I don't know if they listen.
Oh. Understood. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
We have some award nominations.
Yeah.
There was the GDC award nominations. I'm not going to go over every single one of these because there's best audio and that sort of thing. But from what I understand, Outer Wilds and Control. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Death Stranding has the most, and then Control and Outer Wilds have the second most nominations.
Outer Wilds?
Yeah. Not the Outer Worlds. It's a different game.
Yeah, Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds is nominated for Best Design, but so is Death Stranding. Innovation, Untitled Goose Game, Death Stranding. Best Mobile Game.
You know, I enjoyed
Death Strand- no, I'm just
watching
kidding.
Brock play Death Strand. You know, like he'll like post videos on Twitter of his PS share for Death Stranding, just some of the craziness. I kind of enjoy watching that, but that's some crazy stuff in that game.
Game of the Year is Death Stranding, Control, Sekiro, Untitled Goose Game, and Outer Wilds.
I need to check out this Outer Wilds.
And then there were the DICE nominations. And Game of the Year on that one was Control, Death Stranding, Disco Elysium,
That's another one that I'm interested in.
Outer Wilds, and Untitled Goose Game. In fact, Control and Death Stranding were the lead nominations for the 2020 DICE Awards.
Have you played Control?
No, not yet. I have it, but I haven't played it yet. So, like with a lot of games,
Yeah.
I have them, but I have not played them yet.
Just another part of the backlog.
It really is. It really is. I have it on console, too. By the way.
Okay.
Didn't get it on PC. Pokemon Sword and Shield expansions were announced during a Pokemon Nintendo Direct that took place this past week. The DLC that's going to release is going to have 200 existing Pokemon added to the games.
I wonder if they're going to fix the Pokedex.
Actually, over 200 existing Pokemon. I'd imagine so, because wasn't that the big complaint?
Yeah.
So I don't, that would seem like that's what they would do, is do that.
One way to fix it is through this, DLC.
Yeah. During the break, we watched more of that speed run for Super Mario Brothers 2. I did not catch the Super Mario Brothers 3 speed run.
That'd be I would like to see that one.
I think I caught most of the end of it, but I did not catch all of it. But when they did Super Mario Brothers 2, I was floored by the way that thing moved. It's amazing. Now, I put the link in chat for those of you to go and watch. I'll do that again just to make sure that you get to it. It is an amazing speed run, not done by a human. And the amazing stuff that you're seeing with Toad in the first couple of levels at the beginning is nothing compared to some of the amazing stuff they do with Luigi in the latter half of the game.
Yeah. Using his floaty jumps to full advantage in that game.
Yeah, exactly. It's unreal. It's unreal. You should all just, if you're interested, and honestly, the speed runs are just amazing anyway. Mostly because of all the glitches that are used to get where they go and how they do that. I have no idea. I think they were playing Link to the Past earlier. Not the Switch version.
Yeah, no,
but the
well, that's
original.
That's Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening. I'm sorry, you're right. Let me see here. Games done quick. What are they currently playing? No, that's going to be. There we go. Muted it. They're playing Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. They have an estimate of an hour and a half to get through it. They're playing on PC, All Memories and All Beads.
Yeah.
Speedrun.
See, that's why I got to start over, because I knew I missed a whole bunch of stuff in that game.
Yeah, the estimate is an hour and a half. They're currently at 48 minutes into it right now. I would love to tell you where they're at in the game, but I have no idea.
What, Sekiro?
Yeah. I'm trying to see what he's got. I'm trying to give you an idea of where they're at. God, he's doing a bunch of. He's going entirely too fast. Now he's logged out. He's going back to the title screen. Checking save data. Maybe he's doing some save data manipulation.
No. Last place I got to, last place I recall getting to in Sekiro was the fight against. I want to say his name is Genjuro, at the top of the tower.
He just jumped down a very low. Oh God, he killed somebody when he did the jump. I guess that saved him.
You do that plunging attack.
Man, I wish I could tell you where he's at, but I have no idea where he's at or the boss.
Probably further than I was.
He's talking to somebody standing at two gravestones outside a thing.
Ghost images?
No, they don't. She doesn't look like a ghost image.
Okay.
Okay, now he's squatting in front of the thing, I guess doing a meditation. The screen's turning blue around him.
Is there a blue flame he's sitting in front of?
Well, not anymore. Now it's gone to a menu screen. Or whatever, the help screen of like lock on target. Ashina Outskirts is where he's at.
Ashina Outskirts, okay.
He's going into what looks like a bamboo forest now.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get into somewhere and talk to somebody. Somebody's inside a building squatting and he's talking to them from the outside of the building. Oh, now he's going in to talk to them. It doesn't tell me who this person is. It's going by so fast.
I forget about it then.
Well,
Yeah.
it is a speed run.
I know.
Yeah, I forget about it. Yeah. But yeah,
Well, if you're on Twitch right now, just click over and find Games Done Quick. Here, I'll shoot you the link.
There's a minute till the show ends. I could do that. Just shoot me.
Oh my goodness, I totally forgot. Okay, we need to go. I was having too much fun doing that. We need to run. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Have a great week. Oh, no show next week.
Okay.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
no show next week. I will not be here, but I'm not going to PAX.
Okay.
No show next week, so just keep that in mind. As we leave you here, we leave you with another classical piece. It is going back to Chopin. However, it is from a game that RJ is very familiar with. It is their own spin on this whole thing. It is from Catherine. So here you go. Have a great one. We will see you next week. We're way behind. Sorry about that. Have a good one. Bye.